Good afternoon, welcome to the Board of Assessors Tuesday, March 28th meeting at 4:30. In accordance with MGL Chapter 38, Section 20, is anyone taping this meeting besides LCAT in our own office? And the answer is no. And start off with a review of the minutes from February 21st.
Mr. Chairman, I have reviewed the minutes as to form and content, and I find them to be in order, and I move that they be accepted.
I will second that motion.
Make a motion to accept the open executive minutes. Say aye.
Aye.
Did I say that right? Aye. First up is no appointments and administrative warrants, apportion, betterment, payment in full. Oh, they're just right here.
Mm-hmm.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah.
And a motor vehicle commitment number 2 from 2017, $163,471.04.
Those bills are anticipated to go out tomorrow or Thursday. It's commitment to.
Notice to accountant for February. That's this.
Yeah, this one right here probably.
We have fiscal 17 real estate abatement report
Mm-hmm. These are all the abatements that you had already
that we've
approved
approved
during the
in
month
the
of
last
February.
month of February.
Mm-hmm.
And exemptions from the month of February also. Senior, veterans, all the works. Motor vehicle abatement report for February.
And there are some from 2009, 12, I can't see.
9, 14, 15, and 16.
This next one that you have, if you recall, I mentioned that after the registry sent out commitment 1, they also sent out an update saying that there were errors. Those are the ones
Yeah.
that we had to abate. So they were abated prior to even going out to anyone.
That's good. It helps the
1500.
taxpayer.
$1,500 total. LA3 sales report. And these sales are, you're going to see, as I've been saying, we're going to see ratios of 0.7 coming up.
I think that's a lot due to the supply and demand right now.
Incredible. There's nothing for sale between 300 and 400, and there's quite a few under agreement right now, and they are so above the assessments.
Yeah, the last ratio on the first page is a 0.79.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the only page.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a typical
Yeah.
house. It's on the corner
Yeah.
here too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be be something to see. The 102.
Yeah, we had 2 in that complex.
Both of them are very close.
Mm-hmm.
Which is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not bad, but expect to see different coming up.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about the
I-
one that's
yeah, the one that's in the middle there, the 1.76.
Yeah.
I have to think that's Cause that had an office in it.
Yes, it did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my old
And,
dentist. Forever, 50 years plus.
and that person is widowed. It might be not as knowledgeable a seller, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know it was up on the market for quite some time.
Was it?
Yeah,
Yeah, probably because of the
yeah.
configuration.
Yep.
Yeah, and the .82, I know that property is completely remodeled, but still a good number for that.
That was quite surprising.
The bottom .82 one,
Mhm.
there's two
Okay.
of them. And the other .82, it's an amazing number
Mhm.
there.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know that house too.
Yeah.
You saw metals rising.
We have to table building permit report when you get up to that because we have not received the ones from February as of yet. I had
Okay.
anticipated that they would
Really?
be here, so I had put it on, but we'll table it until we get
Because
them.
it's voluntary to give it?
No.
Just kidding.
No,
No.
it's specified in the law
I
that we're
know.
supposed to have them within a very
We're
short
up
space
to-
of
7 days.
time. Yeah.
I know. So we're right at director's report.
And you can see at the
Planning
top.
board decisions?
Yep. So other than the home offices and approval to operate some new businesses under, or businesses under new ownership or existing businesses moving, I had to submit the FY18 budget for our department. There have been things that have been cut from it. It is not finalized. Prior to last Thursday was the last, 2 Thursdays ago was the last conversation I had. I did make a copy for the board, although unfortunately the board doesn't have a whole lot of input, but I thought that I would make a copy for each of you, and you will see that I have included some things in the supplemental budget for board compensation after
Say again?
I put in
No
my,
board compensation?
that's what we
That
have been.
that was specifically requested at the early,
Yes.
as a starting point, but it's subject to negotiation for both, for the several boards.
So our budget is 18 that I'm looking at.
Yes, this is
Fiscal
for
18.
fiscal 18,
Okay.
Yeah.
yes, which starts July 1.
Ours is one of the smallest budgets that's submitted, isn't it, Diane?
It is a small, I don't know if maybe planning might be just a tad smaller.
Could be.
Some of the things that
Look at that empty spot, huh?
we have totally removed line 5307. That was a new line to us last year as we were in uncertainty of mapping services.
Okay.
So that has come directly out of it.
Didn't we used to have a legal?
We still have a
5304?
legal. Yep, it is still there.
Oh, 'cause I see, okay, no change. 5304, I'm looking at the back page. Okay.
Oh, I'm looking where it says 0 outside, see what you're saying.
So that's what's been submitted. This is after a couple of conversations and updates, and I'm not sure if anything has changed, but I just wanted the board, I know for the last so many years you have been, this has been part of your responsibility, so I thought I would share that
It's different.
with you.
Did you get a sense that some of this was negotiable, it just with the town manager, or?
Well, it was kind of a short meeting and then on to other meetings, and so I don't have a final resolution. It sounds like, you know, they want to make sure that we have what we need to work with. But they're also looking to be very frugal with the spending,
Mm-hmm.
so.
Who does wages now?
Who does wages? Are you talking about, giving salaries?
Yeah,
The town manager,
okay.
and the union naturally has contracts that would, if there was any raises for union employees, would be part of their contract.
Yeah. From what I understand in reading the charter,
Mhm.
any of the boards, the appointed people, it's the town council that allows for a stipend and the amount of the stipend. I think it's under the council's jurisdiction, and not the town manager. At least that's the way I read the charter.
I think it is being discussed. I don't think anything is final, and because the instructions I received in putting our budget together,
Mhm.
I complied with what was required and
Of
then
course.
added it into the supplemental with, for reconsideration for the amount of time for education and, just defending abatements and
Yeah.
ATV and going to Boston and, keeping up with the latest laws to be able to, deal with what we are in charge of.
Well, I think it's true of every board that's serving East Long Meadow that was formally elected, be it the Board of Public Works, the Planning Board, or this board. You have an accumulation of experience and education and insight into what concerns your particular board. And I'd like to think that the town would put some value on that.
I agree with that.
Thank you for providing this to us.
You're welcome. The other thing, a couple other things that I have on here is, the income and expense forms to
I saw
all
that.
commercial and industrial property owners were mailed, and they're due back by May 10th. If these are not received back completed, there is a $250 fee, which is added on to their taxes. I did send a press release out to the reminder. A press release was posted on our town website, the main page, and we also put a press release on the Assessors webpage, so anyone who has signed up for any notification from the assessing department received it directly to their email or their cell phone. So I do encourage people, if they're looking for information, deadline, etc., we do post everything on the website. Chris,
About how many did you mail out?
a little under 300.
Okay.
Chris and I went to the MAAO Winter Conference, and I think the main topic that was very important was how municipal liens can be applied to taxes or tax properties when they have violations that are not being taken care of by the homeowners, or a lot of times just the banks who have taken possession of some of the properties.
Yeah.
They showed how you really need to have really good interpersonal skills with your other departments in the town. They also, DOR gave an update of the new modern muni law, as they have now fondly nicknamed it. And they also gave a brief overview for drone technology, and that kind of intrigued me to a degree because at a recent town meeting, a department head meeting, they had talked about the possibility of getting one. So tomorrow we have the HHCAA conference. The office will have a senior work-off person being staffing from 8 to 2, and we'll be back by 2 through 4 o'clock. The spring conference for the MAAO is coming up on April 13th, and they are going to be having, DOR is going to have local assessment workshops And the closest one to us, which is in Worcester, is on April
Worcester.
13th.
Yeah, that's in Worcester.
Same day.
Yeah.
Where's your conference tomorrow?
At
Holyoke.
the Summit View in Holyoke.
What
That's
time does it start?
It starts registration at 8 o'clock, I'm sorry,
8:30.
8:30, and the actual seminar starts at 9. And that's what I have.
Well, this is under the forest management plan. Is that part of your correspondence?
No, it's not. That's under correspondence, and also under my correspondence, you will have a flyer for the spring conference. That's part of which I just mentioned as an upcoming event in my report, and also the local assessment workshop. But I just wanted to bring to the attention of the board that a taxpayer who recently came before the board regarding a forest management plan that he was working on. He has completed it and brought it in. So for the upcoming, for fiscal year 19,
okay.
when we accept
Which would
those,
go- Yeah,
right? But I thought the board would like to know that the person
followed through.
followed through. He made every effort to comply, and he dropped it off. It's way early for us to be taking it, but
Right.
we'll need the application and everything up at that
Right.
time. But
Yeah.
yeah, so
Makes it easier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is chapter 61.
no, it's actually going to remain
61A?
61A forest
Okay.
management. Yes. Yep.
Alrighty. So that's not part of. So I make a motion to go into executive session to comply with the provisions of chapter 59, section 60, to discuss and review real and personal property abatement applications and statutory exemption applications. I make a motion, do we do it individually?
And say the next one. Yeah.
I make a motion to go into executive session with the provisions of DPPA 118 USC Section 2721, which is the Driver Privacy Protection Act, to discuss and review motor vehicle abatement exemption application, exemption number 7. And I also make a motion to go into executive session to comply with the provisions of MG Laws, Chapter 59, Section 52B, to discuss and review income and expense related documentation.
That's all we have to do.
Huh?
That's all we have to do.
All right, we don't have to go to the last one.
Nope.
And for the purpose, we will return to open session, record any vote to adjourn. Otherwise, we will not be returning to open session, and take a roll call vote for that. Bill Johnson,
Yes.
Chris Sonia,
Yes.
Marty Grudgeon, yes.